All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. So glad you could join us. It is a Thursday, and still got some other stories to get to, including some very interesting Killer Ripa comments that were made on Jimmy Kimmel Live. By the way, I'm one of those people that never thought Jimmy Kimmel... actually, I'm sorry. Jimmy Kimmel's great. It's Jimmy Fallon I don't like. I met Jimmy Kimmel actually a few months back, and he grew up here in Las Vegas. Love Jimmy Kimmel. So we'll get to that audio here in a little bit. But I think our listeners have a right to know. And I think it's fair to ask this question to our producer, Steiner. Okay? Steiner. I don't even know what to call you anymore. Stein. But is it true that you're not going to be here tomorrow and you're taking
Brian,
a 4-day weekend?
That was really original.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, explain to our listeners why you get to take a 4-day
I'll explain to the
weekend.
listeners that when you run out of things to say, you pick on me. That's your segment.
No, I haven't. Okay.
Ooh, I like where this is
Okay, well,
going.
that's partially true.
This is
That's partially
solid.
true.
He's got a short attention span.
That's
so
not
when,
very nice.
He's content devoid.
No,
currently.
Right.
that's not true.
when his
okay.
brain is off for the day, that's it. He goes till about 11:30, and then he slows
he
down.
obviously needs to eat.
So, yeah.
Brian,
Make
what,
no-
what,
Sugar
what do you
starts
want to eat?
dipping.
Make no mistake about it, okay? I do have things to talk about, but I am
Not really.
annoyed. I am annoyed that
The N-word? You want to talk about the N-word again?
No, I don't want to talk about the
N-word's
N-word.
bad. End of segment.
I
No,
would say
I don't wanna
deep
talk
down
about
he
that.
probably does.
No, I'm frustrated. I want a 4-day weekend. Why is it that you get a 4-day weekend and I don't get a 4-day weekend? I'm very angry
And
at that.
I'm actually offended that my co-host is frustrated that you have a 4-day weekend. I think he should be fired for it.
So when I took this job, when you
That's not fair.
you lured me out. And for those of you who don't know, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I had a perfectly good life there. It's
No, you
very
didn't.
comfortable. I have
No,
a
you
home. I
di-
have a
don't
home.
you-
I have a wife.
Don't you lie and say
I had everything.
you hated your job.
I had
Don't you-
everything I needed.
Don't you lie to our listeners.
And
You did
Brian-
not have a perfect life. Don't you look at me and say that. Brian, my life was perfect. Go ahead. I want you to say that.
Brian lured me out here.
Yeah, he's
And
laughing.
one
He knows it's not
one
true.
of the conditions that I set forth in my contract was that once a month I would have the option of taking a long weekend, a Friday and a Monday, to go home and see my family.
That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous
Well,
reason.
family is very important to me. Unlike you, I actually have values and morals.
See, this all of a sudden this segment has backfired on me. Okay. Listen, I'm a little upset that you're leaving because we're going to miss you here Friday and Monday. I don't know what we're going to do without you. We need somebody to erase the whiteboard every day, and I don't really know how to do that. So you do a very good job. Johnny,
That is actually very important.
our other producer, Johnny, does a fantastic job.
I'm
So
going to teach Johnny how to erase the whiteboard.
Please do,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Teach
Yeah,
him
that
how
has
to
to happen.
erase the whiteboard, please, because your technique there is fantastic. You're very strong in the wrists, and
You
I
know,
wonder why. Maybe you've been away from your wife for a while.
no,
Maybe that's
he
why.
definitely watched Karate Kid a lot. when
No,
he was
I don't
younger.
think it has anything to do with
No,
Karate Kid. I think it has.
I think it's all wax on, wax off.
I think it has a lot to do with
Not
spending
whack
time
on.
alone on an air mattress every night. That's what I
No,
think.
wax on, wax off, not whack on, whack off.
Okay, that's good. I like
I'm also responsible for putting the My Pillow Guy standout cardboard cutout away every night. You probably don't even know that I do that.
That's a pretty big.
know-
I watched you do it yesterday, and that is kind of a decent delegation.
Right, but he goes home. He doesn't know what I do.
There's a chance that when you
I
get
don't
back,
want to know what you do when I go home. In fact, I have ideas of what you do when I go home, and I don't want to talk about it on the radio because I'm disgusted by your behavior, Stein.
there's a decent chance. I would say probably 80% or more that when you get back, that particular cutout will be somewhere in ashes.
Listen,
but it will not
could
be
be.
here.
JD,
I think
we
there's
all
a,
could
I think
agree.
there's a strong
And then you'll all be
possibility of that.
sorry.
Listen,
And then
we
you'll all
all
be sorry.
we all could agree on this. Ocasio-Cortez is extremely hot. Okay, and I
Yeah.
told Stein, I said you got to buy a cardboard cutout of Ocasio-Cortez, but not the politician Ocasio-Cortez.
Not the pantsuit.
No, now that's fine
You're
too.
saying the sorority bartender?
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Okay.
and-
The dancing.
The college
and
student?
Stein actually did a search on eBay and he found
I
one.
found it.
So that is going to be a new addition in the studio.
Stein, how much does that cost?
With taxes and shipping, it's $50, $52.
I think that's actually pretty reasonable.
Trust me, when I took Stein to the strip club, he spent about 8 times
All right.
that. So yeah, I mean, $50 is nothing. So I told
I
him
actually don't believe that you spent $400 at a strip
he
club.
didn't spend that much,
That's
but
not
he
true.
did spend a lot.
There's no way you spent that much.
I do want to add this though. He did say, as far as Ocasio, now the My Pillow guy, he takes it out of the studio and he puts it in another room where nobody can take it. But he did
Well,
say,
no, but he also
hold on,
he gives it a hug before he does it every time.
yeah, which is fine. But he did say that as far as Ocasio-Cortez goes, he's going to take it home with him every night. You did say that, did you not?
I did say that. I don't think I actually will.
I think you will actually.
How
I
tall?
might. I might. You're right. You're right. I might
Well, I
actually
mean,
take it home with
how,
me.
if it's the same as this, how tall is that going to be? 5'2", 5 foot? Because it's going to be hard every day walking out to your car with an Ocasio-Cortez. Because you can't really roll it up. You can't. You can't
Sure.
fold it. You have to just kind of pick it up and find a way to maneuver it through a door.
It's advertised
it's
as
gonna
life.
look very odd.
It's advertised as life size. So however tall she is. I don't know if the Mike Lindell is life size, but it looks about right.
What, 5'10",
Yeah, something
5'9",
like
5'10". That sounds decent.
So let me ask you a question. What are you going to be doing with your wife this weekend? Like, do you have any plans? You haven't seen her in a while. I'm sure you miss her. She misses you. Your wife's a very nice young lady. What are you guys going to be doing for the weekend? Like, you haven't seen each other in a long time. What does a married couple do that misses each other? I don't know, because I'm a single guy.
We'll probably get some Chinese food. Probably hang out, go to sleep at about 8:00 at night.
You don't have anything planned?
No, we have a Halloween party planned. We're having people over to our house for Halloween. I'm going to see my parents.
They live there too. That's right.
I have nieces. They're going to be trick-or-treating, so I'll go over there for trick-or-treat. So, a lot of family stuff, man.
But that sounds really exciting.
That's what you do when you're married.
Are you going to be able to go to Bed Bath & Beyond? Do you think you'll have enough time?
I don't think I have the need to go to, nor will I have the time. But believe me, I've done my share and your share of Bed Bath & Beyond and Target and all those stores.
I'm getting used to Bed Bath. I don't really hate it. I am kind of disappointed that I can't buy the new Halloween style candles that were just recently.
I was just gonna say,
taken off the.
Does your
shelves.
wife have a thing with candles too? Every time we go to a store, my wife has to buy like 6 new candles.
Some of these candles really smell good.
They do.
I mean,
this
they
is
really,
just the worst
they really
conversation.
smell great.
It's turned into the worst conversation ever.
I like the one that's like fall scented.
I love that too.
What happened to you
or
guys?
like around the
Are you guys-
holidays, you get the cookie or the gingerbread
Are
scented.
you guys really talking about candles?
Absolutely.
It really makes the house
What
festive.
kind of show are we doing here?
A really good candle could just change the entire ambiance of a home. And
You have no idea,
the
Brian. You
feeling.
should try it.
No, trust me, I do, because I was dating a girl a few months back that brought candles into my house and tried to change everything about my apartment. I don't see her anymore. It didn't work very well. JD, you have a child and you're married. So
I
what
do.
is a typical weekend for you? I want to get inside the head of a married couple. Like what is it you do on a normal weekend? I'm just curious.
We try to spend at least one night with our child a week doing something. We went to a carnival.
But you only see your child one night a week?
No, I'm saying going out doing. We went to a carnival.
We try to see our child. I'm sorry, I interrupted
Come on,
you.
Brian,
I'm sorry.
stop spinning it.
I'm not spinning
You're
anything.
obviously very lonely over there. You're a little jealous, and
Listen.
I can feel it. And
Yeah,
it's fine.
you're right.
You're projecting your
Yeah,
jealousy.
I'm
and
very
and I
jealous
can
of you
appreciate
guys
that.
being married. You
But-
guys seem so
all right,
happy.
But despite,
I'm
all right.
so jealous. Gosh, oh my God, I'm on a date tonight.
Stein is rolling
I'm
right
on a
now.
date. I'm going.
He is so happy.
I had a date last night. I have a date with
All
a
that
different
recognition that-
I have a
that he's
date with a
seeing.
different girl tonight. I get to see and go as I please. I'm watching some football this weekend, and I am not lonely by any
You're like
stretch.
Joe Pesci. You're like Joe Pesci in Goodfellas.
What
Look
about
at-
when you're in your 80s?
exact
What
same
about
thing.
when you're
Hold on a
all
second.
alone and you have nobody to take care of you?
Stein,
I got a different girl with night,
Stein.
man. And then I come to see you.
Stein,
That's
shut
what I
up.
feel like with you right now.
shut up for a second, Stein. I got to ask JD a
Oh,
question.
I'm ready for this one.
Okay, JD.
What's up?
Look at me in the eye right now and tell me that you think I am envious of your situation. Go ahead. I want you to do it right now.
Brian, I believe you are envious of my situation.
You are so full of crap. It is
I looked at you
unbelievable.
square in the eye.
You did it. Okay, to your credit, you did it.
You're envious of his hair, I think.
I didn't wink.
Maybe. That was
There was
uncalled
no
for.
hesitation.
That was uncalled for by a man who, okay, I won't even go there. But anyway, Stein, look at me in the eye and tell me the same thing. Do you think I'm
What?
envious of you because
Yeah.
you're married?
I do. Deep down, yeah. I do. I think you want love like anybody else.
You guys are unbelievable.
So what we're going to do is we're going to bring on Alexis Moreno next week.
Who's that?
Who's
What?
that?
Nobody knows what you're talking
She's
about.
a psychologist
Okay.
that basically said that Trump was a giant narcissist, and,
Oh, yeah,
and she did a
that's
little
right.
evaluation. But we should expand this conversation next week with her and have all of us involved.
Listen, I will gladly be psychoanalyzed on the air. I don't
What are
have
your
a
thoughts on
problem
that,
with
Stein?
that.
I think it's a great
It
idea.
can't be Monday, obviously.
Listen, there's things about, my parents have been married for, 30 years, 40 years. I should probably know that, but I don't. They hate each other. No, that's not true. They don't really hate each other, but my mom did say a few weeks ago that when my dad dies, she's not going to go to his funeral. So I don't know if that means hate, but they've had some issues in their relationship.
You have some issues too.
Well, of course, we all have issues. I've
Johnny, let's bring Johnny into this.
got Johnny.
Johnny's a single
Oh,
guy.
no. Oh, no. Here we go.
Come on, Johnny. You never talk. Johnny's our associate producer. He's fantastic.
Johnny's extremely good at what he does.
You're younger than all of us. You're No, you have a girlfriend.
I do.
What's a typical weekend for you? What's it
Um,
like? Because you're right in the middle. Like you're not married, but you're not quite
Right.
single.
You're like 60% there.
Right.
Exactly. So we're still in the stage in our relationship where we can have fun.
I don't care
and
about your
we
relationship.
Enjoy
Turn his mic
each
off.
other's company. So
Johnny,
please
how
go
long
out
have
and
you
have a
been
good
dating
time.
this woman for, this girl?
About a year and a few months.
How long did it take you to sleep with her?
No comment.
You always go too far, man. You always go too far.
Every single time he tests the boundary to see where he can go with it.
Johnny is like the nicest guy in the world. He's so respectful. I'm sure you treat your girlfriend extremely well. I'm the opposite of that, okay? I don't know how to treat a woman. I haven't since I was 17 years old, okay? I haven't. I don't know. I could probably take lessons from all three of you. All I'm saying is Johnny seems a lot more happy when he comes into work than you two. You two seem miserable when you walk into work. You don't seem happy.
I'm not exactly a morning person. It's hard for me to really get up and just be, elated in the morning. I get up, I go through my routine. I get my very, very hibiscus. I get my water. I drop it in there. I eat maybe a very, very
we
light
know because we hear it on the air every single time you walk in.
Every single time, and that's exciting. But you asked me a question about what I do. Yeah, my wife and I, we try to go out with our child to do something, whatever it is, at least once a week for a couple hours. And last week we went to a carnival down at Rampart, and it was actually a pretty good time.
Do you feel like?
Besides that, I wager sports all weekend long.
No, I know you do.
And then we spend a lot of time together outside of that.
Yeah.
And then every now and then we go on vacations. We're planning a couple as we speak.
Okay, but I like to, go as I please. Do what I want.
Right.
With both of you, do you feel like you have to ask permission from your wife to do something?
Well, I did when I lived with her.
I thought you said your life was perfect back there. You were lying.
You're talking about before I moved out here.
Yes, you were lying.
No, I'm very independent, and I can do what I want, and my wife can do what she wants. And
Really?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Oh, well, that's good. What about
Yeah.
you, JD?
Do I have to ask permission?
Yeah, to do
Permission.
something.
What is it? What do you think marriage is?
Like define something. Like go to
let's
the, go
just
to the
say
store or go to the strip club with
go to
you
the
for
store.
Yeah, like,
what are you in jail?
Yeah, what do you
Jeez.
mean something?
You're going to spend the entire day watching games somewhere, and then at night you're going to go hang out with the boys at a strip club. I don't know. I mean, do you have to ask permission to do something?
I would definitely inform her that I was doing that, but I wouldn't say, "Hey, can I do this?" No, it's not like that.
Right, it's respect.
It's just letting her know where I'll be and what I'm doing for X amount of hours, which I think is pretty reasonable.
Is this both what you envisioned marriage to be? Wow, you hear that 5-second silence, Johnny? Johnny, do you hear that 5-second silence? Don't ever get married. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't ever get married. You hear that they're at a loss for it. There's
He's right. He's right.
Stein is shaking his head.
I cannot tell a lie. It's awful. Johnny, run.
That pause,
Don't do it.
man. That pause, guys.
Don't
You
do
might
it.
hesitate.
That was that was an aggressive pause.
In all seriousness, both of your wives are very, very nice.
came out.
I've met both of your wives many a times. They're both very, very nice people. Marriage is just not for everybody. I think we all could agree on that. Like, I remember on the Bill Maher show, I'm a fan of Bill Maher. Okay, I like his show. I think he's very funny. And he's doing an interview with Howard Stern. And Howard Stern, believe it or not, is a very happily married guy. He wants to be with one woman. Bill Maher said, that's not me. I want to be with 15 women. Marriage is different for every single person. But if I can't take care of myself, how can I take care of a child? Right? I mean, every circumstance is different. I guess that's what I'm trying
Well,
to
I
say.
don't have kids. Now you're talking about parenthood. That's something I'm not at all interested in for the very same reason. I can't barely take care of myself. And then second of all, I have no patience whatsoever.
So what do you do? I'm just curious about this. And this is probably an inappropriate question, but I'll ask it anyway. What do you do if your wife's not around and you're horny, but you're thinking of taking care of business yourself, but then your wife is coming home? Like, how do you handle a situation like that? I'm just because I'm a single guy. I do whatever I want to, right? But you guys are married.
I have cameras. I have cameras mounted all around the house. And sensors, and so I know when she's walking in the door.
Do you guys
I
have
can
porn?
put the cardboard cutout of AOC under my bed.
That's funny. Do you guys have personal porn in your house? Not for your wife.
What's the matter with you?
No, I'm curious.
What the hell is the segment?
I know JD does because I've seen it before. I have.
Wait, I have
Yes, I
personal
have.
porn in my house?
Yes, I have. I've seen it.
No, I
Yeah,
don't.
I've
Like
seen it.
DVDs?
I've seen it.
I have absolutely no
DVDs?
porn.
What is it,
I saw-
2005?
I have
I
no
saw.
porn in my
I
house.
saw a Bridget.
Yeah,
I
nobody
saw.
does that.
I saw.
The Bridget the Midget.
I saw a Bridget the Midget
Oh,
DVD in
okay.
his house.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw it.
I did have Bridget the Midget on
I
my
saw
computer,
Alice Cooper on
but
your-
that's because I was doing show research.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Alice
Okay.
Cooper.
Did I say Alice Cooper?
You did.
That's not
Little
what I meant.
Alice.
Alice
Little
Little, Brian.
Did I?
Alice
you-
Little.
Who actually is not a midget, despite the fact that you
No, just short.
consistently refuse not to believe that she is.
Fine. All right. Well, listen, I am happy for both of you that you are married. I'm happy that you are arguably both happily married. Arguably. I think at times you're very happy and at times you're not happy. Is that a fair assessment to make?
That's true of us all. Right?
Is that fair?
There are times when you're not happy.
I'm
right?
always
Yeah,
happy.
Oh,
I would-
BS.
I would say that is a general assessment of just life and just life, anybody
Right.
of any walk.
All right. Well, I'm sick of
No one's happy 24/7. Why would you want to be?
Listen, I am happy, joy 24/7. Everybody in this town makes me happy. I love the media in this town. I love everybody in this
You
town.
need some medication if you're happy all the time. That's what I think.
Or you're on medication.
All right.
Right.
Honestly,
All the time if
of,
you're happy all the
of the four of us, I would say Johnny is certainly the happiest in life with all four of us.
Johnny's got a lot
Definitely
going
happy
on.
all the time.
Yes,
but
Johnny is a happy young man. He really
Thin,
is.
he's
I've got
thin.
low standards, so
I don't know if I believe
Look
that.
how thin he is. He's thin.
He's in good shape.
He's
yeah.
hip.
He is. He's
You
very
know?
trendy. He certainly dresses better than me.
He is
Absolutely.
That's
very
for sure.
hip.
Yeah, he
Thanks,
dresses
guys.
better
Thanks
than
for
all
the
of us.
compliments. Thank
I
you.
mean, JD wears his white shirt every day.
Do you know why I dress this way, Brian?
Tell me why.
So I don't have to make a decision when I get up. I can just spend 15 seconds getting ready and I'm out the door.
Then why are you
that's
late
good.
then every day?
Because I wake up late.
He's late every day.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
He's telling, like I'm assuming him to say,
But
listen, I
he
put
would
on my
be-
makeup.
He
I
would
shave
be
my hair.
he would be later if
I
he
would
didn't have the
be-
white shirt. It
I
would be
be
9:30.
I would be significantly more late. I would probably miss the first segment 60% of the time.
So
But I'm here between, we'll say 8:45 and 9:05, at least 85% of the time. And I'm trying to get better at it. But again,
It's hard.
tough.
I know
It
it's hard.
is tough having a 2-year-old child at home
Yes.
who refuses not to sleep in her own bed.
my opinion is when you're live on the radio at 9 a.m., you probably should set your alarm a little earlier than 8:40. That help me, right? I mean, is that a fair request? It's fair.
Probably, but then we wouldn't have 5 minutes of making fun of him at the
That's
top.
Right.
true.
Which
So
is true.
I'm actually I'm adding content
You are.
accidentally.
That's true. Kind of like Donald Trump, right? He's adding content to our show accidentally.
And
So
let's be honest, if Donald Trump wasn't president of the United States, CNN's ratings would go down 60%. They want him
So
in
would Fox
office
News.
as much as everybody else.
So would Fox
no
News.
one in media doesn't want no one in media wants Donald Trump not to be president.
speaking of marriages, how do you think they're doing? What do you think is the last time Donald Trump had sex with Melania Trump? Be honest.
I can almost guarantee they have an under the table agreement where they can both do whatever they want.
They do things under the table?
That's my guess.
What does that mean? Oh.
Probably at least 5 years. And by the way, when's the last time President Donald Trump saw his crazy son Barron?
I thought you were going to say when was the last time Donald Trump saw his Don Jr., and I'm not talking about his son.
No, I mean his
Oh.
kid. I mean,
Barron?
Barron's been hit away pretty well, don't you think?
Barron?
He has.
Yeah, I mean, you see him get off planes with him and his mom every now and then.
I would be willing to make a
And
wager.
and this kid's like 6'6", and he's
very-
14 years
He's
old.
not that tall.
He is
Not
a
6'6".
he is a monstrous kid.
He's taller than Donald Trump, but he's not 6'6".
Trump's
it's an
6'3".
exaggeration.
He's at least 6'5".
It's a gross exaggeration.
14-year-old Barron Trump is 6'5".
Now you're exaggerating. Now you're being
No, I'm not.
ridiculous. He's not 6'6". It's not true. He's taller than Donald Trump. But
What time is it? Is the show almost over?
we're almost
Did we
done.
kill enough time?
I want to talk a little bit about Kelly Ripa, Mr. Stein. Why don't you tell me a little bit about this story? Because apparently Kelly Ripa has made some really stupid comments about her son.
Kelly Ripa, who makes probably $30 million a year, very, very rich. She was on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show, the talk show, and she was talking to Jimmy about how her son is just now gone away for college for the first time at NYU, and well, he's struggling. He's not doing too well. Johnny, you have the cut?
You know, I think he loves the freedom. He hates paying his own rent, and he is chronically poor. I don't think he ever really experienced, extreme poverty.
Extreme
Okay,
poverty.
First of all, Kelly Ripa, you dumb nitwit. You make $30 million a year. And how dare you, you dumb moron, talk about extreme poverty. You have no idea what extreme poverty is. None. I'm so angry I'm coughing. I'm offended by this. I'm offended by the fact that this dumb woman goes on national television. And by the way, I don't think she was trying to be funny. I think she was being serious. If you're joking around, that's one thing. She is trying to make the case of a woman that makes $30 million a year that her son is in extreme poverty. You know what I want to do? Here's what I want to do. I want Kelly Ripa to move to the poorest part of North Las Vegas. I want her to live in a cardboard box with no money and no bank account. I will give her $20 a day. And then let's invite her back on the Jimmy Kimmel show in a month. And let's let her explain what real poverty is. She is a dumb nitwit, and I would call her other things, but the FCC would not allow me to. I cannot stand people who use these loose terms like extreme poverty.
Maybe all she meant was that since he's moving into a small, you've seen The Sopranos when his daughter was at NYU, right? You saw those
Yes.
dorms; it was pretty small. I'm sure he used to live in a giant mansion
That's
with
not
his
extreme
mom.
That's not
poverty.
extreme
Of
poverty.
course, it's not extreme poverty. I understand that. But and her statement was totally over the top and ridiculous. But here's what I want to talk about. Tulsi Gabbard has filed legislation which would pave the way for a return to a 1987 law mandating equal media attention on political or social issues.
So is that the way we're doing the show now? We just start talking about a topic and you just go on your phone and you say, guys, well, here's what I feel about that. But here's what I want to talk about. Let's not talk about Donald Trump today. Let's talk about that football game tonight.
What else do you want to talk about with Kelly Ripa? Obviously, that statement is completely insane. And people who are in her position shouldn't make statements like that. Fine. We've gone over that 100 times.
Well, listen, here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how great your marriage is. That's what I want to talk about. I'm just going to do that in the middle of segments from now on. I'm just going to say, okay, that's great, Brian. Here's what I want to talk about. Okay, go ahead.
Let's just talk about Tulsi Gabbard.
Go ahead. By the way, Tulsi Gabbard is also extremely attractive.
Tulsi Gabbard. She's kind of
ridiculous today, Brian.
Tulsi Gabbard is kind of. Correct me if I'm wrong.
She is.
She's kind of the.
She's more centered.
She's an extremely attractive woman. What do you want me to say?
She's kind of like the one Democrat that people on the right like and respect, right?
Exactly.
I don't like her
because she stood up to Hillary Clinton.
Right.
I don't like her because
because the Assad thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't listen. I appreciate the fact that she's a war hero, that she's a veteran, and I'll say that for anybody, no matter what else they do in the rest of their lives. But to in a way defend Assad, and I believe to me that she has ties to Russia, and I think she has a lot of similarities to Donald Trump. I don't like her.
Do you think she is a pawn?
Yes, 100%
for Putin.
100%.
To do what?
The evidence is overwhelming that she has ties to Russians out there. She defends Assad. I mean, I don't. First of all, she has like 2% of the vote. She's delusional. She makes a statement saying
she's getting a lot of attention right now.
Of course, she's for the wrong reasons. So's Donald Trump. So what?
Because of her looks and because she went after Hillary Clinton, which no one else has done.
We only have one more minute, but she said she's delusional. She said that the race on the Democratic Party is between her and Hillary. What the hell is she talking about? She shouldn't even be on the stage. She's got 1 or 2% of the vote. She has no chance of winning, 0 chance of winning, and she only gets up there to attack other Democrats that are on the stage. She never really talks about her policies and what she wants to do. So I'm just tired of her, man. I'm tired of her. I want to hear from people out there that actually have a chance to win. She has 0 chance of winning. Period.
Julian Castro?
Andrew Yang.
There's another one. Yang has a better chance to win than she does. I'll say that.
Marianne Williamson.
No, well, she's not on the stage anymore. So
Amy
that's done.
Klobuchar.
Right.
What's her name?
Klobuchar. Yeah, that's her name.
That's right.
All right, we got to take a break. I hope you have a nice family vacation. We care about you here. We hope you get there safely. Don't really care whether you get back here safely, but we hope you get there safely.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll make sure not to put any prep work in for tomorrow.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, we'll take a 21-hour break. See you guys tomorrow. Sean Hannity coming up next.